The community of Washington University, the infectious disease department specifically, it's just a really nice, comfortable, kind of Midwestern feel that's always just really accepting no matter who you are, where you've come from. St. Louis overall has a really low cost of living. Commutes are also really easy. You can be within walking distance living in the Central West End, or you can commute in from the county. One of the benefits is that we have parking that's dedicated for us and that it's paid for by the department. And it's connected via a link system, and so that way any place you need to get in the hospital is covered, whether it's raining or whether it's cold, and so that's really a nice benefit. Every day as you walk in, you can stop at your favorite coffee shop. By the end of your first year, they already know your order, and about the time you actually show up every morning.
One of the first things I remember noticing was entering into this conference room and seeing this beautiful view of what I later found out to be was Forest Park. And they gave us the fun fact that it was twice the size of Central Park, which I of course Googled and found out that was true. I just remember feeling welcome and kind of a warm feeling about just entering this office. Our first year fellow room actually is a circle of computers. And what that does is that does create a camaraderie because we all get to see how each other are doing each day. We get to check in with each other, which is really important. One of the most fabulous things about this department is that it's a circle of offices. And at any point, if you have any question, you can just go straight into any person's office and that person will always greet you and answer whatever question you have.
A big benefit of being at Washington University is access to a world-class microbiology lab that's run by Carrie Ann Burnham, who is just a powerhouse in the field. And there's someone there 24/7 to help you navigate the next steps for management in these patients.
Another great aspect about our microbiology lab is that you can rotate at the beginning of the year and you can see what's happening behind the scenes at each of the benches in our microbiology lab.
The ID division, because we have so many consults, is divided into multiple teams. So there are 2 general teams that are considered teaching teams, and then there's a non-teaching attending run team. That spreads out all of the general consults. Each of those teams now have nurse practitioners to help with staffing and follow-up of patients that are going to be in the hospital for a long period of time.
My first 2 years on clinical ID have been great. You have a lot of clinical experience. You see a lot of different cases and interesting cases. I think one of the highlights for me during my clinical years was also the grand rounds that they do and the discussions the attendings have for each case. Is just, wonderful to see how the thought process that they go through, and you learn so much from that as well.
In this particular lab space, one of the advantages is that there are multiple ID faculty that share basically all these resources here. By being exposed to as many ways of doing things, you get to really learn all the different ways that there are to accomplish certain research goals.
St. Louis is a comfortable city. Our hospital is a comfortable place to be, and our division is just a really comfortable place to learn infectious disease.
Having people around you that not only support you, but are willing to check in, see how you're doing, listen to how rough a day you had, celebrate when you do something good. Honestly, it did create a form of chosen family.
I've heard a lot that fellowship is very tough and you feel really isolated, but here at Washington University, you will never feel that way.
It's really just an amazing place to be.